This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Brighton, Colorado. I'm here with real estate broker Gil Vasquez. Since 1998, he has been helping clients, family, and friends in the selling and buying of real estate while building relationships from Utah to Colorado. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, you've been in the real estate industry for many years. You're now pretty much new to Colorado. You've been here for some time. Share with me a little bit how this passion began for you in the real estate industry.
Well, originally I come from Mexico City. And in that area, I work on the real estate part, but in the government part. So I started working in el Registro Público de la Propiedad y el Comercio, which is the entity that takes care of the land and the transactions that are done between owners and people that buy properties. So when I come to the States, I came to go to BYU to school, which I never got into it because I want to do law. That was my main thing. In Mexico, I started doing law in the university. And when I moved here, that was my passion, law. But because I couldn't get into it, I went and I was a server for a few years. And when I discovered real estate, I figured out that that's the closest I can be in that profession that I like, contracts, dealing with people, problems, and try to solve all those things. So real estate was, from the beginning, for me, has been a passion. 23 years, I don't think I have lost that passion for the real estate industry.
That is interesting. I mean, real estate is a constantly changing industry, always changing, be it Utah or Denver. What is the real estate industry right now that you've seen in the year 2020 as well as 21? Have you seen some changes that have happened?
I think it has happened. I mean, the pandemic has made a big curve for us because it makes us brokers that they were more personal to now less personal, to be more online. But people like me, all guys, we still like to see the human interaction. But fortunately, I was up with my profession. So I've been able to get into the online. I have interviews. People has interviewed me, and through Zoom, through other mediums, and they've been able to hire me because that interaction that we have now online has been semi-personal, but it's been also productive, so we don't be left behind in what we do every day.
That's interesting. Regardless if you're buying or selling real estate, why do you feel it is important for consumers out there to have a professional in their corner?
That's the lawyer on me, right? I have to sell value. When I sell myself. And how valuable can I be? So I've been lucky that in this industry they allow us to grow in our knowledge, in our base of knowledge of what real estate is. So I have situations where brokers come to me and I don't use any lawyering thing, but at least I'm being able to give them a second opinion of what they have transpired in the transaction. So what I do, and I think one of the biggest compliments I get is when the people realize that what I'm telling them is the truth. And in this industry, that's why we're striving to be truthful when we are realtors. So as a realtor, we have signed a code of ethics. And I think we put ourselves in a different stage where people can actually see us there and trust that we're going to do the best that we can in our abilities of what we know to help them through the transaction. So people that has not used realtors, they have find themselves in hot water because they have lost money, they have lost hope, they have lost interest in the real estate because, situation that has happened between what they do.
Trust is very important. I mean, for most of us, a real estate transaction is probably the biggest transaction most of us will make in a lifetime. I mean, be it our home that we're buying or a business that we're buying. Share with me how you're able to utilize the technology of Keller Williams and really find a home that is a good fit for these people once you've sat down and listened what their needs are.
Thank you. You touched that one. Keller Williams right now is one of the innovators. And I'm not going to sell the company too much, even though I am very grateful for that they have, and I've been in many companies before, but these guys have, they're on the vanguard, is that the word? When you are in the front the front runners on technology. So one of the technologies that we have is this app that allow my clients to go immediately to the app as soon as a property hits the market, and they are able to get it. So we've been able to get a big market share in the Denver metro area because we have the opportunity to see, to give this to the clients. So while I'm here in the interview talking to you, somebody must be putting the computer their property. My client is getting it, and they sending me a text, to let me know that they want to go see that property right away. So we use the technology in a ways that people can benefit from it, and one of those is being the first ones to go and see properties out there.
Let me ask you this, Gil. With Keller Williams, obviously it takes an entire team to really navigate someone through this process. Yet with your experience, you really have been able to specialize in multiple areas. Tell me why it's important for people to understand that when they're, let's say, buying land or versus that of buying commercial property.
Well, in our industry, we have different categories within the realtor community. So even though we all have the same license, no, we all have the same education on doing, one portion of real estate. And I can say that openly to anybody, any of the realtors. Hopefully I don't get enemies on that one, right? I want friends. And that's the thing. When they know how to do the business and land, for example, it's because they went and got the education to be helping and serving their clients. So when you do that, you get certifications. When you want to go get education, you can get certifications. So one of those is for land, farm and land. The other one is for commercial. I have one that is a certified international property specialist. So I can give referrals internationally and receive commissions from that, but at the same time, being able to, in another country, browse everything I want, or when somebody wants to move to another country and browse the land over there on the or the properties or the investment they want to do. Likewise, if somebody comes from another country, and then I can put a team together to serving them, complete. Especially if somebody is from another language that we can speak. So somebody doesn't speak Spanish or English, sure. Then I can put my team together, but I can still be a portion of that one, guiding the other realtor with the language to be able to help somebody to come and invest in the United States.
Your basic general realtor can't do all those things.
It's difficult. They all can do it,
yes.
but at their time and with the proper education. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, it's a very exciting time for somebody to be out there buying real estate. Maybe they're buying their first home or maybe upgrading a home. Yet that excitement can turn into overwhelm when you're talking about all the steps, all the details. Is this important for you to be accessible to your clients and kind of walk them each step, or like Keller Williams would say, guidance through every step of the way?
Yeah, I think so. It comes with not just the time in real estate and how many transactions you have done, but also it complements, you get the education. And you're probably going to touch this one down the road, but I have several designations, and those three little letters that go next to my name. So besides being a realtor, which I put it right here, besides that, I got some letters underneath. Each of those letters is education that I went to prepare myself to learn how to do the transaction better. And it's literally is a few only number of agents, and a percentage maybe between 5 to 10% of the 1.4 million realtors that are out there, that we had so many designations and different categories in real estate. Like I say, I got passion for it. So I learned about land, about commercial. I learned about investments. I learned about multifamily, everything. So, and I've been practicing. So when a client comes to me, I'm able to tell them what I know, and using that education to tell them that what they're doing, they are in good hands to do it.
Speaking of your experience and your continual education that you're providing for yourself, you have sat on many boards, in the past volunteered on boards, also the Colorado Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. These are all years of experience that a client is able to tap into. Do you enjoy the ongoing education that you provide for yourself as you are accredited even further?
I think so. When I moved here, it was for education. I didn't move here for work or it was changing my way of learning things. And education has been the number one thing for me, besides of what I do. And being in my real estate profession and being on top of what is happening, it has helped me to transfer that to my clients. But it's been satisfactory to me just by myself to learn new things that and not just this country where I'm very grateful to be here, but also in my personal life to be able to pass this to my kids and let them know, how they're gonna live down the road. Even whatever profession they choose, real estate will be a big part of their life. Like you mentioned earlier, it will be one of the biggest investment in their life. And if they do it right, and if they use it right, that would be a vehicle for them to retirement.
When someone's out looking for a home, they finally find one, they're ready to make an offer. How important is it to tap into some of the experience of a real estate agent when they make an offer? Making sure you're putting forward an offer that it's going to be taken, because obviously here in Colorado, if it's not taken, the next guy's in line. Are you able to help them and kind of navigate them on what their offer should be?
Yes, because one thing that I tell my clients, I am an extra set of eyes for when we go to see the properties. And we just recently this week, I have some clients that they want to make offers in houses that just for the desperation that they have right now because of the market the way it is in Denver today. But they have been able to just calm down, and that's my job. My job is to make them see how the transaction will transpire after we make the offer. And we've been able to not make an offer in one house, but make an offer in another one, and then looking for a better interest for this client. Because on the other side, the seller wants the most money they can get, but the buyer needs to spend that money wisely, and that's what I come into place.
That is interesting. I've gone through the process of buying a home. It can be kind of overwhelming, especially at the contract table. Let me ask you this. How important is even negotiating skills that you're able to help them with, as far as maybe negotiating a price or maybe even negotiating certain terms that who's going to pay for what? Are these things that you're able to help them along the way with?
Yeah, think about it. Negotiation is a skill that you're gonna use all your life, and you have used it since you're little. You always negotiate for a better job, you negotiate for a better girlfriend, right? When you grew up as a kid, and then you negotiate for whatever reason. So coming to this point in my life and being able to take courses and learn and actually apply to it, it has helped me to get them the better deal possible to my clients. In Spanish, there is one thing that it says bueno, bonito, y barato, which is good, pretty, and cheap. That's what we're looking for. But many times you don't have the three complete. So you have to do the best you can to be able to tell the client why this one is not there. And if it's a good investment still. Because sometimes the equity of that house will be built by you by living in that home.
Interesting. As we flip to the selling side, someone's out there thinking about selling their home. Let me ask you this: in the market right now, how's the inventory? Is this a good time for somebody who wants to possibly sell their home?
Always a good time. As a realtor, I'm not going to say, all the rest will tell you it's always a good time. But the best is when you go, again, with the education part and getting there to understand and asking the main question: why are you want to sell? What are you want to sell? When you find that motive of selling, my main goal is to detach them for the property. Some people sell and they still they're still in love with their memories on that home, and we had to detach them, because when that happens, the transaction is a lot smoother than when you don't. When you don't, you still want to sell, but you don't want to sell. But in this case, in the seller, I had to educate them, and the main question is, why do you want to sell?
All the details of selling a home, be it deciding what the asking price should be, preparation of a home, even the showing management. Are these all the things that you're able to help them with? And is it important for you to stay in communication with them, and so they feel they're connected to the overall transaction? I
think one of the biggest complaints of a seller is not enough communication.
Yeah.
People want to know what's happening every day. And start from the very first showing that is allowed in their home. Now, in my case, I do understand this is their sanctuary. This is their home that they have created. So for somebody to walk, a stranger to walk in that home, we have to be sure that when they walk in, they come and represent it. And there is people that has good intentions to go into the home. So thanks to that, I've been able to say thank you that all these people that are allowing those buyers to come in with their realtors also, to be able to see their homes and feel at home also. So a lot of sellers prepare their homes the best they can, not just for the money, but because they want people to know that it's a lovely place that they can come and enjoy later. So I help them prepare all that, and technology has helped us with that. We have teams, we have people that come into our team to help us on that, sometimes by hire, sometimes for a long term, and then we, with these people, and we're talking about stagers, we're talking about people that can come and paint the place, handymen, and we're talking about all the people that we put together in that team to be able to present the home the best they can.
That is interesting. I mean, many people would say that you're in the real estate business. Traditional sales, short sales, land, investment property. But at the end of the day, for you, this is a business about people. It's about building relationships. Tell me why that is so important to you.
Well, I got lucky, that I went through the period of the good economy, then the bad economy. And in the bad economy, not many of my clients suffer, because in the good economy, with education, I put on them the way I taught to them how not to get into the situations where the future will be getting them out of their homes. They were able to stay there in their homes, and now I had the blessing of having their kids coming to me to buy their homes. So that, and many realtors have enjoyed that portion. They did their job right. They put them in situations when they buy homes, not just because they breathe, but because they actually can afford the home. We knew those people who, passed through that storm, and they would stay in their homes. So my short sales come from strangers. I almost never did. I did two that I recall that they were my clients, that I had to do a short sale for them for job, whatever. But besides that, almost nobody lost their home. So their kids were able to use me now as their realtor too.
You've been involved professionally for the past 23 years. You've built many relationships. As you've seen these relationships grow, many of these relationships have followed you across multiple states. You see referrals. Maybe you've helped people 10 years ago, and here you are helping them again. Does this continue to be rewarding for you?
It is. Like I said, I don't think I have a moment that I have that I want to get out. I've been here, and I've been the whole run. And there were times, the economy changes and everything with the family also. But one of the things I can tell you that I'm more grateful for this industry, and it's because I have seen my 6 kids, my original 6 biological kids, grow, and I have been in every stage of their life, from games to performance to reports. I've been there, and thanks to this industry. So I haven't been attached to a set schedule. So thanks to that, I've been able to, divide my time correctly to go and be in their lives.
Coming from Mexico, you also are able to service those folks out there, Spanish speaking as well. Let me ask you this. If someone out there is thinking about selling their home or buying and a little overwhelmed by the whole process, how would you tell them to get started?
I say the first step is, let's sit down, let's have a consultation, and let's be able to find what is the motive, and then what is the goal, to do what you're going to do. So, and then that will ease their panic. A lot of people say, what you explain to me makes more sense about this or about that. So when we can do that for them, it makes sense. Why are they doing the next movement in their life, either buying or selling? Excellent. Oh, investing, sorry.
Excellent, thank you. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is his contact information right there. We've been showing it throughout the program. Take a look at the website. We're talking about the Keller Williams website. This is an organization that is one of the largest across the world, with over 900 locations worldwide. They've got the technology as well as the real estate brokers in place that can educate you and help you, whether it be buying or selling across the market here. Check out the testimonials and definitely download the app. Like he says, you have full control, but at the same time, you have a professional in your corner who's able to help you answer the questions and obviously get the home of your dreams. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.